Hi, hope everyone's doing well. Time for another story. This story has some high drama to it. Yes, this is about how a liar can commit any crime, and it's the story of Manavika. Manavika. This is a woman's name. All right, let's read the verse first. For one who falsely speaks, who disregards the Dhamma, who other lives denies, no evil this one will not do. So it's actually saying that the lie will reveal the person as having the potential to do very, very serious evil or misdeeds. Now, I've heard this story a long time ago and I've reread it recently, so let's get into it. So during the Buddha's time, the Buddha was giving a lot of dispensation, teaching, and helping a lot of people attain enlightenment or setting them on the path to enlightenment. They may be the stream enterer, non-returner, and so forth. If you're interested in Buddhism, you may look this up. There are many stages. One may progress towards final enlightenment. Okay, so with that in mind, uh, many people were actually interested to follow the Buddha and learn his teachings. This actually caused his, in modern terms, fan base to expand hugely. And the other ascetics, there were other teachers of other religions during those times. They were not pleased with it because when you have more followers, your fan base increases. These are the people who will support you in your daily life and maybe propagate your religion. So the more followers you have, the more people who will contribute either money, food, necessities, and so forth for your lifestyle. Okay, so even teachers, religious teachers, or these noble leaders of religion, they need to eat and live as well. So uh, these teachers were losing followers to the Buddha, and they were not pleased with it. So they got together and they hatched a plan to defame and discredit the Buddha such that the followers will leave Buddha and return to their previous respective teachers of other religions. So one bright spark decided that it would be a good idea to ask one of the female followers, a very beautiful follower called Chincha Manavika, quite a long name for me, so I tend to have to look it up every now and then. So this beautiful woman was called upon to sacrifice herself to for the good of their not so noble mission. She was supposed to defame the Buddha by making people think that she and the Buddha have some illicit relationship. Okay, so for several months, she took it upon herself to go to the monastery and be seen going towards the monastery in which the Buddha was residing every evening, and then return from the monastery in the early hours of the morning. So, for people who have rather active imagination, I think you can surmise, what that implies. Okay, she was spending the night in the monastery. Okay, so after some time, she was asked, what have you been doing? And she blatantly said she spent the night in the Buddha's room. All right, that was very obvious. It was not hinting anymore. And then after some months, she started putting, padding around her midsection to imply that there was something happening. She was pregnant and the baby bump was starting to show. And then later on, instead of just these soft paddings, she started to put like a wood kind of a shaped bump on her stomach, ab section, and then tied it to her body with some strings or like cloth ties so that this bump was very prominent as if she was in the advanced stages of pregnancy. And on top of that, in this state, she went to the monastery in front of everybody when the Buddha was supposed to be, doing his normal teachings. In front of everyone, so that she had an audience, she berated and reprimanded the Buddha, saying that, you should be taking care of me. Look, like I'm pregnant with your baby and you're just enjoying your monastic life. You're caring more for your pupils and your students and your monks than me, who is pregnant by you and deserves some care and attention. So she actually tried to demand maybe some form of compensation on top of TLC as well. Okay, so besides tender loving care for her and the baby, he was supposed to provide for her. He was supposed to ask his followers to contribute some money and food and other necessities for her and her baby, since he had so many followers anyway and they were supporting him. So this actually caused everyone to be in great shock, of course. But the Buddha was quite silent and stoic. And she continued making demands of him. And he told her, only you and I know what is going on. I'm paraphrasing here. And she took it to mean like, hey, of course you and I know what we have been doing under the covers, under the bed covers. And she continued to spew all these slander to cause a lot of shock and discredit, knowing that the Buddha will not have any witness otherwise. But at this point, okay, Sakka, who is the king of the Devas are these celestial beings, saw what was going on. Okay. This king of the Devas, he and his Devas worshipped and respected the Buddha a lot, knowing that the Buddha was a very wise teacher. Even Sakka was a student of some of his teachings. He had, on several occasions, gone to listen to the Buddha preach his knowledge. So Sakka knew that this evil woman was up to no good. He sent 4 of his devas down, and these devas transformed themselves into rats, and they went and attacked the woman and nibbled the ties that held the wooden bump on her. And once this was broken, the wooden bump dropped from under her clothing with a huge thud. And everybody saw that she was not pregnant. She was actually pretending to be pregnant, and it was all a disguise. So this was all a huge slander, and it was a huge lie. And she, fearing that they would attack her and punish her, she ran out of the monastery. And several people did indeed give chase and wanted to beat her and punish her. So she ran all the way out, and at this point, even the earth opened up and swallowed her. And that was the end of her. And it was said that she was later reborn in one of the lowest realms of hell for her misdeeds. So, what happened to other plotters? Seeing that this big lie was disclosed, and it was with the evil intention of other ascetics that caused this humongous, disturbance within the community. Everybody shunned the other religious teachers who were involved. Even the remaining students that they had left them, and they were left to their own devices. Nobody supported them anymore. They ended up in very sorry states with no food or any support in terms of necessities or monies. So what they wanted, the Buddha to suffer, it backfired on them, and they were in a worse state than when they started off. So evil and lies never breed anything good.